welcome back to Tasmania TV. In today's video, I have a body modification update for you. And as I'm recording this now, I haven't actually gotten it yet. I just want to record a little chatty intro before I get going and have this done. So what I'm getting today is some new ink, so new tattoos. And I'm not just getting one new tattoo, I'm actually getting 3 new tattoos. Well, 2 are part of the same tattoo, but they're still on separate spot, if that makes sense. I'm gonna share what it is in a while. The first one's gonna go here. I already have a tattoo on this arm. I'm having text tattoos done today. All 3 are gonna be text tattoos. I've been feeling like this has been so bare and empty for a long time. Like when I do this, it looks like I don't have any tattoos. They're all on the outside, at least on this side. Here I have that. So I'm like, it's just a big space. I need to fill that shit up with something. So I'm gonna fill it up with one of my favorite quotes. And I'm pretty sure you're all gonna recognize this. If you don't, your homework for next time is to immediately go and watch this movie, okay? So the quote is, "We are the weirdos, mister." And that is, of course, from the movie The Craft, which I love. That movie played a huge part in shaping the person that I am when I was a kid growing up watching that with my friends. I already kind of have a tattoo that's dedicated to that, which is this, the 4 tiny little thingies here. These are symbols for the 4 elements. And I just love that quote. "We are the weirdos, mister." I often use that as a hashtag on Instagram. I call myself a weirdo all the time. So it feels very fitting to put that right here. And the other 2, okay, you guys know that I like wearing tops like this. You kind of have this area bare, so I'm gonna tattoo right here, and then the same on the other side. So it's gonna be over the ribs. This is gonna be bad, people. It's gonna hurt like a motherfucker. So the tattoos for the ribs, you guys know the band The Runaways? This is the band that Joan Jett started out in. I love Joan Jett, and you probably heard of the song Cherry Bomb. Well, I'm having cherry and bomb tattooed on my ribs today. And yeah, I just love that song, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, those are the tattoos that we're getting. So Cherry Bomb is 1 tattoo, but it's in 2 different places, and then we have this one. So it's kind of 2, but kind of 3. So I'm gonna call it 3. Okay, I'm excited. I love getting new tattoos. And yeah, as always, I'll put the links to my tattoo artist and stuff, for Instagram and things, in the caption box. He was known as The Count before. He's been using the name Lucky Boy Customs lately. Hello, I have someone licking my arm. Hello, puppy. It is time to get tattooed. What? It has now been 3 days since I got the tattoos. I was going to record the second I came home after getting tattooed, but yeah, that didn't happen, so I'm recording today. So I'm going to show you the finished tattoos, obviously, and talk about the experience of getting them done the way I always do in these videos. So let's start with the inner arm tattoo. That's the one that I did first. And here is what it looks like now. I love all of them, by the way. I'm super happy with the way it turned out. The font that we used is called Beware of the Dog, and it is the same font that inspired the Punk Life tattoo that's on my ass or underneath my ass that Loen also did for me. This time, however, he went a little deeper with the black, which I really love the look of. It meant that it took longer and it hurt more, but it was totally worth it because it looks friggin' awesome. I really love it. Today, as I'm 3 days in, I have a little bit of bruising. I don't know if you can even see that, but yeah. The same goes for the ribs. Got some bruising there, so I'm a little tender still, but it's all good. So yeah, the inner arm, it's one of those areas that people think is going to hurt really, really bad because you have fairly thin skin here compared to the outside of the arm. So yes, it does hurt a little bit more here than it does on the outside, but actually it's not that bad. Like when I did this was a 4-hour session. So at the end of that, it wasn't fun, but like 4 hours, any session, anywhere you do it, it's going to feel worse towards the end. That's just how it is. Like the adrenaline that protects the body for the first hour or so kind of goes away after a while, so you feel the full force of the needle. But this was actually not a big deal at all. It was like half an hour of active tattoo time on the arm, and it wasn't bad at all. I was on my back like this, it was playing some music, it was actually quite comfortable. So yeah, that was a pleasant start to the whole tattooing thing. But then we moved on to the ribs. Now, I was prepared that this was gonna hurt. In case you haven't experienced it yourself, tattooing over bone is really uncomfortable, and the ribs are probably the worst spot on the entire body to get a tattoo because it really, really hurts. So I was nervous, I knew it was gonna hurt. But then again, I kept thinking like, it's gonna be fast, it's gonna be over soon, it's gonna be worth it. Like repeating that to myself like a mantra almost. So we started with the right side, which is the side that says cherry, and I was lying like this, like on my side in a really uncomfortable position. My neck was in a bit of a lockdown that day, so it was uncomfortable as it was already, typical. And I was kind of like leaning on my hip, which was not very comfortable. And then I was on a pillow and this arm was over my other ear, so I couldn't hear anything. It was just a weird experience. And then obviously it really, really hurt too. I was like, the whole time. I did manage to record a little bit of him tattooing, as you saw, but that was it. Like I couldn't even hold the camera. It was just focusing on breathing, and yeah, but the first side was still okay. Like it really hurt, it really fucking hurt, don't get me wrong, but I still kind of held it together and we finished that. And as those letters are bigger, like way bigger than these, and there's a lot of black in there, it took some time. You kind of lose sense of time when you're getting tattooed, so I don't actually know how long it was for this. I actually looked at the clock, so I know that it was half an hour, but maybe like an hour or something for the ribs on this side and then an hour on the other, or like 45 minutes, I don't know, something like that. So maybe like 2 hours in total of active tattoo time for all 3 tattoos, which is not bad. Except for the fact that it was on the ribs. So then we moved on to the second side of the ribs, which is the part that says bomb. And that just, everything just fell apart, basically. Because after being done with the right side, I was exhausted. I was like, how the fuck am I gonna get through the same thing one more time on the other side? I don't think I can do it. Like I told him, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And he's like, yes, let's go. We can do it. It's going to be fast. It's going to be awesome. You can't go home with half tattoo. And I was like, well, no, he's right. And it is better to get it done while you're there rather than to postpone it and do it later on. Like it is better. He's right. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So I turned to the other side and I managed to get into sort of a little more comfortable position this time. I was almost on my stomach, but like with my ass and hip tilted upwards so that he could reach. But the second that needle touched my skin, I knew like this is not gonna work. And he kept going and I was like breathing heavier and heavier. I was super tense. I started shaking. I started crying. Like tears were, I wasn't like, wah, but you know, tears were streaming down my face because of that intense pain. It was really, really bad. And I was like, I can't do this. I'm not gonna be able to do this. You have to stop. And he was like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. So he really fast went over all the outlines and it was so bad. This was like the worst 15 minutes of my life other than when my neck fell apart last summer. This is the most intense pain I've ever felt in my entire life. Don't get your ribs tattooed, kids, because it's really bad. Anyway, so he did the outlines for the lettering really as fast as he could. And then he sprayed me with this numbing spray, which is like a gift from the gods. Because once that sets in, he can just go all over it and be as brutal as he wants because you don't feel a damn thing. And that setting spray, you can't use it on like fresh skin. It has to be a little damaged before, so he has to do the outlines and then he sprays and then it kind of spreads a little bit outside of the line. So you can't start with that and be like la 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 numb throughout the entire process. You have to go through the outlines first. But I'm really thankful that he used that spray because I wouldn't have been able to sit through that session if he hadn't. It was It was torture. It was really bad. So yeah, but then he used the numbing spray and I was like, oh, just able to breathe and relax because I was so tense and like wipe my tears off my face. That was an intense moment. But yeah, but then he finished it, took his time and could go really deep with the black, which is good because that's what I wanted. So, ow, I can barely touch them now. It's so sensitive still. So I'm very happy with the result. Here is what the tattoo looks like. So we've got cherry and bomb, cherry bomb. And I love the tattoos. I love them. I love them. So yeah, it was a very mixed experience. Very happy and calm during this session, and then completely devastated and like traumatized during the other half. And I paid him and I walked home and I went to the shop and bought some stuff for dinner that we were gonna eat later on. And I was in this kind of, I don't know, like a bubble to myself, just walking and being in crazy amounts of pain and like not even being sure what's going on. So when I came home, I kind of crashed on the couch and just like chugged a soda and just sat there and tried to breathe without my ribs hurting. Because for like the first 2 hours after getting them tattooed, they were so sore. So yeah, that wasn't fun. And then I took the plastic off a couple of hours later and like showered. And that's not very comfortable either, like hot water onto freshly tattooed skin. Ouch. But, you know, you gotta do it. And then I managed to sleep through the night. I woke up every time I had to move, though, because they're on my ribs and I like to sleep on the side. So I'm gonna be sleeping on one of them. So yeah, it freaking hurt, but I am so happy that I did it. I feel kind of like a badass because I survived this much black and like harsh lines right over the ribs. But I love my tattoos. They're so awesome. It feels like I've had them for years already. Oh, and like I mentioned before, I do like wearing those really low cut like racerback tank tops. So I'm gonna insert some footage of me wearing that where you can see like the tattoos poking out on the side. Like that was the intent of that placement. I'm very pleased. I can't wait for these to heal, and I never want to tattoo my ribs ever again. Oh shit, the light just turned really weird. Sorry about that. I don't know what the fuck is going on outside. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. So pain level, the arm, inside of the arm, I would say it was like a 2 out of 10. Not bad at all. The ribs, yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. Definitely. It was a horrible, horrible, horrible pain. So yeah, be prepared for that if you're gonna get your ribs tattooed. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy my new body mods. I know that I will. And thank you so much for watching. And remember, do no harm, but take no shit. I'll see you next time.